hit the go live button well before this. Sorry about that. I hit the go live button well before this. Sorry about that. What's up, everybody? Hi, Cursed Calendar. Hello, Nedic. Then Waff. Here we are, indeed. Hi, Cecilia Aragorn. Thanks, Please More Cats. Or Nedic. I'll probably call you Please More Cats just for keeping it straight in my head. I tried trying something for the sake of trying, so better than not trying. Hello, Happy and Celine. Hello, King Ozzo. How is everybody today? I'm feeling way better. I was so zonked last stream, but feeling much better tonight. I was missing this, so figured I'd give it another shot. Happy got... Oh, Happy, you got your cat! Yes! Yes! How's Kitty doing? Really windy last night, I feel it. Hopefully no damage. Feeling great, good. Thank you, Celine. There's one thing left that I'm getting super OCD about before I turn it into... Before I release the soundtrack video for YouTube. I'm trying to figure out how I want to line this shoulder. Getting really, really, really obsessive over it. Extremely obsessive. It could be like that. I'm trying to figure out what I like more. Or I could just... Nope. That's way better. Okay, yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Okay, that's an easy decision. You wish it was winter down here, it's so hot. So, Southern Hemisphere gang, I see. Yeah, sorry about that. Nice winter evening, nice then Waff. Oh yeah, that's right, I did see some photos on the Discord. Athena looks amazing. Athena looks absolutely precious. I'm so happy for you, Happy. Sorry. I wasn't planning on doing that. Halfway through, I realized I was about to commit to it, and then I did. And then I did a really awful, strange laugh. Everyone disliked that. King Ozzo says, maybe you could nudge it slightly to the left. You mean the shoulder? Yeah, like now that I adjusted the line and made the line less thick toward the top of the shoulder, it looks perfect to me now. That was exactly what I wanted. Now, the forearm definition, I'm not sure. Oh, whoops. Yeah, we're just straight into micromanaging territory. So it's about time to release the soundtrack video. And on that subject, I think something I'm going to do during the stream is work on finalizing tunes to release on Bandcamp for the version that you can purchase. But I'm also going to be releasing the Act 1 soundtrack as part of a fully compiled YouTube video, the way Petscop and Illusion Lock did their soundtrack releases. And, of course, many other soundtracks are released within one video altogether. King Ozzo's glad the soundtrack is dropping soon. Me too. You can use it in the speed paint? Hey! I'm honored. Brazil, I see. Yeah. Brazil is generally really hot. Got to 38. Oh, man. That's pretty rough. That's toasty. Yeah, Pun Master, yeah. Curse calendar I have... how new is it? Let's see how new this is. The one... Yeah, the one with Teddy? Yes, and the one that Lucy posted. I really like that album concept, which is the Apollo that has... like, the Apollo silhouette with the flowers. I think that's amazing. And that Teddy. Oh, God. I actually had to look away for a second. It's so powerful. That's a perfect amount of angst right there. Very genuine angst. Hey, Trey, how are you doing? First time finally watching the stream while it's live. I'm glad that you can be here. No one should feel like obligated to be here, or I hope you don't feel bad if you miss a stream, because I mean, do what you want to do with your life. I'm very happy to see everybody, but I don't want anybody to feel like, oh no, I missed the stream. He's gonna be sad. It's all right. It's totally fine. But I'm really glad that people enjoy this. Hi, Claire. Yeah, growls is Teddy, absolutely. M Million has arrived. Welcome. Yeah, it looked like you two were interacting like close friends. So that was really cool. Really cool to see that. This stream was what got you to join the Discord. It's so many interesting interactions that occur that can cause different fandom experiences. All right, so. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the forearm. It's never really jumped out at me. That's fine. That's basically how it works. So yeah, I'm going to call this poster finished. This is the soundtrack version of the poster. It's funny when you start to get to the amount of versions of something that you're working on where you have to do the double letters, and then it starts to get to like, they look like... I forget this word every single time I try to use it. That's not an exaggeration, it's every single time. Like YMCA, what that is, like when you have a bunch of letters that are words, but then they're shortened into just letters. I forget this word every single time. It's kind of annoying. 26 acronym. Thank you, Please More Cats. And it's like my superpower. My superpower is forgetting specifically that word every time I want to use it. That's the superpower I was gifted. Yes, so like whenever you're working on something and you have a billion versions, and so you get into multiple letters to signify the different versions, and then they start forming acronyms. Like I'm on AU now. Thank you guys for reminding me of the word. So you've just learned something about me. It honestly holds true. It continues. This continues. Okay. Thank you so much, Trey. I appreciate that. I'm very happy with how it came out. There's so many... I oscillated so many times on what Apollo was going to be doing in this poster, but then once I started sketching this version, it came out so fast. I'm happy with how the sun came out as well. I very much like it. And the text, it kind of looks like a poster for an upcoming space film with a very star-studded cast. Venwoff asks what we are listening to. This is a lo-fi hip-hop radio YouTube channel that I default to very often. I'm going to link it here. You break our hearts, I'm sorry. More like silly Saria. I was going to screenshot when you guys were fooling around with similar nicknames for me in the Discord, because I really loved that. Silly Saria, Jesty John. King Azo says, I have an experience where every time I post something I suddenly notice 5 new things wrong with it that I never noticed before. That is the plight of an artist. 100%. The longer you work on something, it's like the more things that pop up that you didn't see before. It probably has to do with literal fatigue mentally. Trey says Apollo was so cute. That makes me feel good. It's also just true. Celine says Apollo's pose and expression are, I can't even describe them, just like ascending to a higher plane of enlightenment, letting the energy of the moment wash over them. Whatever it is, we love it. It's powerful. That is the them boy. I'm really glad you like that. Yeah, my first... Ooh, I noticed... My first imagining of this poster... Just cleaning up these outlines here. That's fine. When I first imagined this poster and what Apollo would be doing, I always imagined them having their arms outstretched, kind of in like a, like how you would imagine a statue, like a Greek statue, where it's like, you know, something like that. I don't know how that, if I'm gonna be in frame, but it doesn't matter. Like, you know, something like. Apollo is adorable and a good boy. King also says Apollo took more than his daily recommended dose of vitamin gummies and is now ascending. Flintstones gummies, indeed. Apollo has become too powerful, you guys. You guys are all correct. Okay, you folks. Save this as a PNG again because I adjusted some things. I'm gonna go ahead and start rendering the YouTube version of the soundtrack. And hopefully this version is mastered a bit better, because there were some tunes that were louder than others, and the one that I tested earlier. Apollo looks like he should have on a toga. That's an idea. That's a wonderful idea. Hi, Eagle Eye, how are you? Good to see you. King Ozzo says you have no idea how hard it was to not give him a scarf or cloak when I was drawing him. Please do it. It doesn't matter if in their bio it references their dislike of clothes. You never know. You never know when they might have want of clothes. Or even if they don't want it. It's all, like headcanons. Headcanons are all valid. If you want to draw that, absolutely do it. If Apollo is ever sus, I will disable all water. Don't do that. Water is a beautiful thing. I will be mad if you disable all water. Celine says Apollo's long hair and floofy tail are so that you can do the cool trailing scarf or cape effect. Yeah, and action poses without the clothing, yeah. That is just one of the most appealing things in animation, is a character with a scarf or something. Like some sort of trailing object. Trey says, when I first figured out you were the person behind all this, I saw your personal Twitter and saw a video of doing the insane flips, and then I lurked more and saw a video of you talking, and I was like, damn Will! I appreciate that sentiment. I'm glad that you're entertained by the persona. Which is very genuine. I try to be. Well, I don't even try. I guess I don't try to be. It kind of just happens. Mystic says, drawing Apollo right now! It's requiring me to reference muscle anatomy charts. Nice! I hope that helps you. That would be awesome. Celine says, Diminish AU where Apollo likes clothes. Oh! No! Cursed! After all that I was saying, encouraging them to draw Apollo with clothes. I guess that's the joke, but I felt the need to outline that, just to be safe. Cecilia says, Diminish AU, where Apollo never took 1,000 of years nap and lives in a city with mortals and immortals alike. That feels cozy. Saying he was cold, yeah, and that's part of the bio too. Apollo hates being cold. That is canon. Canonical. We love to frolic in the canonic. Okay. AU, yes. That is the name of that. That shoulder looks so much better! Teddy looks okay. I am just about ready to render this. Hopefully my computer will be able to handle it, because the last streams, it seems like the computer was struggling with a few things, but should be okay. I'm tempted to maybe, like, watch the soundtrack video all together with you all once this renders. We can listen together. How does that sound? It's so scary to start the rendering process on a video this long with so many important things in it. Do it! Let's go. Alright. Just go. Just go. Just do it. I'll delete the other one, because that's a huge file. I'm not looking at chat right now, sorry, I'm trying to start this render. And I'm about to look at chat. Casual Apollo, yes. Casual Apollo! I'm really curious to see what people think that Apollo's fashion sense would be in terms of clothing, because we know that they like having a ponytail, of course. Celine says, Diminish Apollo / Bird Slow Burn Coffee Shop AU. I need that. I need that. King also says, I had a lot of fun drawing Bony Apollo. Was yours the one where Apollo was, kind of peering back over their shoulder at the viewer, like looking over that amazing expanse with all, like, the giant spikes coming out of the ground? That was an amazing... I loved that take on the landscape. That looks so cool. Combining the cartoonish design with a touch of anatomical realism. That's why my favorite character to draw is a monster type, with exactly what you mentioned, with anatomical realism mixed with a lot of absurdism or you know, shocking silhouettes, that sort of thing. That's why I loved and continue to love designing the character that Apollo is inspired by. My original character that Apollo came from visually. Music stream, yeah? Says King Ozo. Cecilia says, give us the progress bar to look at as it renders. Can't miss that. It is currently at 1%! I don't know how long it would take me to actually, create something where you can see that. King Ozo says, is the soundtrack going on the Diminish channel or on this channel? It'll be going on the Diminish channel. It'll be a video with all of the tunes that I decided to compile into the Act 1 soundtrack for YouTube. So it'll be close to 50 minutes long with all the tracks there. So that'll be on the YouTube for Diminish, and then I created a Bandcamp where I'll be releasing the soundtrack as well, and that one will be for sale. Because I saw that's what Tony and Parson did for Petscop and Illusion Lock. So, I want to be a cool kid too. Trey says, your character of Will is almost exactly like how you are in real life, and it's very cool that it shows in these streams. Yeah, I'm glad that it's that clear too, because It really is. Will personality-wise is just me. It's just true. Glasses. It just... Yes. Indeed. There they are. Oh, Apollo with Apollo with glasses. Yes. Yes, please let me drown in my own spit. I would prefer that. Cecilia says, King Ozzy would love to see a casual Apollo in your style. Yes. Sunglasses. Sunglasses. Scarf. Watch. Yes. Apollo in a maid dress. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tiny top hat. We saw Apollo in a top hat. Who drew that one? I'm trying to remember. 1% hype. We are now among the 1%. Congratulations. Now we're in the 3%. Celine says, will there be any difference in content between the purchase and YouTube versions? The YouTube version will have a bonus track, at least one bonus track, maybe two. And I'm not sure if the Bandcamp versions will be more lossless just by virtue of how Bandcamp carries out their service. But it shouldn't be too noticeable if there is a difference in the quality. But I'm mainly, like, obviously, if you want to listen to the soundtrack without paying, you can just come to the YouTube video. It'll be mainly be for... It'll be optional in case people want to support the music financially. Spooshy, hello! Good to see you. Spooshy says, Anthros with glasses always confound me because they can't go behind their ears. How are they held up? I don't understand. I don't have a response to that. I think it's a good point that I'm sure a lot of people grapple with. Okay, so what do I want to do right now? Because I do feel like it sounds like fun to watch the soundtrack video here on stream and hang out with that. Trey says, I'm a musician myself, so I love supporting others with any chance I can. Thank you. That's very admirable, and I'm glad that you appreciate my music as a musician. And thank you for your overall support as well. It's very heartening. Lemon Guts, welcome. Dropping by to say I'm super excited for Act 2. I'm on my 3rd rewatch. I think you've watched it more times than I have now, and it's really sticking to me like Petscop once did. That's a great feeling. I'm so glad you liked it. Thank you so much for telling me. It always fills my heart in a way that few things ever have done, or may ever do to thing. Anyway, thank you. Then Waff says working on music kind of... Oh yeah, I was thinking about working on a tune. I don't know. It might be fun. But I also... That's something I have to focus on as well. Because I've tried streaming music production before, and it's always been like whenever 1 or 2 people are watching, and then even when it's only that amount of people, I do a bad job with balancing the content creation and talking to people. So I don't know. But yeah, that's basically what Venwoff kind of said. But in this case, we would just be listening to what I already made once this finishes rendering. An idea of a drawing for Will and Teddy, gonna be emotional. My body is ready. It's not, but my body is ready. Claire says, Saria, Lemon Guts is... Oh, Growl! Okay, hi Lemon Guts Growl person. I love... Ooh, that Teddy got me. Yes, that hit a very special part of my soul. That has caused me to create a lot of art throughout my entire life, for fandom or otherwise, and I really appreciated that drawing. I continue to appreciate it, of course. Celine says we keep going back and rewatching certain moments we marked out especially hard for. Yeah, I'm so glad that one of your favorite moments is the Apollo swimming reactions, because, of course, of my affinity for water and water themes, and how amazingly fun it was and is for me to create visuals for water parts. And that scene was also incredibly fun to make, and I'm very proud of it as well. So that makes me feel really good that you keep bringing up that scene and that you love it so much. So thank you so much. One of my favorite comments that I saw in the chat when that happened live was saying like, "Swimmy boy." I was like, "Ah, swimmy boy." Yes, that Teddy was amazing. Please More Cat says, "I'll probably buy the soundtrack, thank you, since this is such a good series and you seem like a pretty good guy." Oh god. Thank you. I'm just existing. But I appreciate it so much. And none of you have to support me. I might set up a Ko-fi, coffee, whatever that is. Just because I've seen throughout my time on the internet that people like having like just a way to support an artist, even if they don't, having the option. A lot of people are recommended for artists, and there's always the throngs of people who say, "Take my money, shut up and take my money." So, I figure I might as well give the people the option. Even though, of course, you don't have to. Just the fact that you are alive is great to me. And you experiencing my work with me is something that I can't express how I feel about. It's just too good. I really liked it. I really liked it. I already forgot what your other name is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find this. Gosh darn it. Where was the reveal from Claire? Lemon gut, growl. I really did like it, growl. That was an unnecessarily long 40 seconds of the stream. I'm sorry. So happy to see Apollo just go wee. Yeah, that was required. That scene was so required. All of those hours spent animating that and coding it in was absolutely necessary. I'm so glad that people liked it. Diminish looks like a game with fun water levels somehow. That is actually a challenge, possibly lifelong, that I'm going to be implementing as a game developer for game development. Because, of course, we all know that everybody tends to hate water levels in video games, or even the thought of a water level. Just the mention of it, it's like, oh god, this is going to suck. My experience with this game is going to be lessened because of the fact that there is now a water level. And so, as a game developer, I want to create games that kind of turns that around a little bit. I want to have water levels, or swimming mechanics, or just water in general in video games be something that's incredibly fun, or unique, or, I want to make water levels be less hated, at least in my games specifically. So, it's an interesting point that you make there. Celine says, of course we keep bringing it up, it ties in a lot with our observation on how Will and Apollo are warming up to each other. Yeah, I always enjoy seeing that take from you. It was the payoff to everything that happened pretty much since 10, where Will decided to keep the file from 9 out of respect for what Apollo had been through. Growl, thank you, Cecilia, yeah. King Ozo says, how do you feel about the headcanon of Apollo being Teddy's OC persona? Please keep hypothesizing about that. I won't give you any hints or any of my personal feelings about it. Please go ahead and keep talking that through. Please More Cat says, and I try to remember simply how important it is that you are alive, starting to sound a bit much like your own work. Well, the thing about Diminish is that, and probably about most of my works that will be occurring after Diminish, or around Diminish, is that they are very transparent, very honest, very raw, and so hopefully a person who walks in and sees me doing one of these streams, or who meets me in person, will hopefully not be shocked at what kind of a person I am, or my worldviews, or my convictions, just based on experiencing my work, because what you see through my work is basically what you're gonna get with me as a human being, so, because I don't really... I try and let my honesty supplement the work and drive a lot of my decisions, and hopefully that that comes through in a good way. Trey says, I was so committed to the episode 17 premiere that I had to watch while my parents and I were at a mattress store for a whole hour. My parents asked why I looked so stressed. That is a heck of a story. That is a memory right there. That I just got that gave me a very distinct feeling, because I remember playing video games while walking through mattress stores and malls and stuff, and having, like, experiencing very pivotal story moments, very poignant story moments in games, like the Mega Man Battle Network series. I would play a lot while I was walking around stores with my family, and that brought back a lot of those memories. That's so wild to create a memory like that through Diminish. King Ozo says, TBH, that's the only headcanon I will absolutely hold on to with an iron grip. It just fits them so well. Do it. Do it. Yeah, no matter what it might turn out to be, go ahead. It will always be valid. Curse Calendar says, I don't know if you saw this yet, but I figured out how to accurately map. Yeah, I did see that. That blew my mind. That's really cool. On one hand, I feel bad because I could have just, like, shared what it looks like in the video in the game engine, but that, on the other hand, that would have ruined all your fun, and I found that extremely impressive. And I have to say, looking at it, it looked pretty darn accurate. So congrats, that was pretty awesome, Curse Calendar. Just for fun, I might try working on a reference sheet for Apollo, maybe, while this is rendering. We're at 11% now. What are other things that I could do? Spooshy says, I got back into Animal Crossing the other day and completely forgot that I had the villager Apollo on my island. It was definitely a moment for me. Can't imagine. Apollo ref sheet? I'm getting some reinforcement for that idea, so I might go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to draw them facing straight on, and I'm going to have to figure out how to draw a wolf face facing front again. That's my true weakness. That is my Achilles heel. You can kill me by making me do that. I don't need to start out with a 5,000 by 5,000 canvas, thank you very much. That should be fine. Although I feel suddenly compelled to... Because people were talking about... I saw people talking in the Discord about the whole buff women in media thing and buff furries. And I kind of want to show off a doodle I did of one of my original characters before I get going with Apollo here. Celine says, the Scrapollo you posted the other day looked fine. I think your front view wolf snoots are better than you think they are. I appreciate it. Yeah, the more I look at that scrap, the more I'm a little displeased with the perspective with their head relative in space to the angle of their upper body. Because it's supposed to be clear that, like, the perspective is widening significantly as you go down their body, and I feel like the head didn't quite sell that perspective relative to the rest of the body, which sold it fine. I needed a lot of work on perspective, but thank you, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's definitely a better, like, the misgivings I have with that drawing are way less severe than the ones that I had with all of my drawings from 4 years ago or so. Trey says, there was such an interesting feeling waiting for my parents to finish trying out mattresses while I'm waiting for what the outcome is for Will and Apollo. I can't even imagine, even based on my own experiences. I imagine you, while Apollo is doing the dolphin jumps out of the water, like getting onto mattresses and like doing the same thing on the mattresses while everyone in the store just like turns around and watches with varied expressions on their faces. Oh, I'm glad that reference was good for you, King Ozo. Thanks everybody. I appreciate that. Appreciate all of that. Let me try and find this Azure for you. Good old Ray, one of my very first original characters once I started on this art journey, this career. Are you going to buy that? Whee! Woo woo! Woo woo! That's kind of how they sound, right? Woo woo! When you watched episode 9, you were supposed to be in the middle of a family gathering with your grandparents. Did you recede into a different area of the location? Yeah, that'll be a really memorable Christmas for me. Seeing, dropping that episode and seeing the reactions pour in, because that was the piece of art that I was the most proud of in my entire life up to that point. I was in love with how episode 9 came out, and I'm still happy with it, absolutely. I'm really, really glad that it became, like, a point of the series that I see a lot of people talking about, where, like, they saw that episode and they're like, now I'm there, I'm with it now. That episode got me on board. Yes! Chris Calendar says every frame of the Apollo jumping out of water animation is absolutely precious. Oh, thank you. I like the ones where they surface and they take a breath. I think those ones are cute. Yeah, King Ozo, I get that feeling, yeah, especially as a hyperfixating person with ADHD, OCD, who gets, like, at times dissociative as a result of getting into media. It seems like, it feels like you're trying to wake up but can't sometimes. Whenever you're that engrossed in something. And then you get massive overstimulation. Especially if, like, there's a lot of noise or there are a lot of people. It's a very strange sensation that occurs sometimes like that. And we're talking about Apollo being happy in the water. This character that I'm trying to find and not finding, because I keep stopping. This character, Azure, is even more obsessed with water than... Like, I'm unhealthily obsessed with water, and I'm like 1% of what Azure is in terms of obsessed with water, so that is one of her characteristics. I'm floundering. Sorry. I hope you all are enjoying. It's so amazing to have you here again. This has become one of my favorite things to do, honestly. I'd never expected this. It's just started happening where it's like I think about how I could be, what things I could be doing in the evenings, and it's like, when I think of this, it's like, I want to do that. Screw everything else. I want to hang out and talk with people. Like, all the people who have been hanging out on my streams have just become people that I love talking to, so why not? You all are the best. I'm so lucky. Look for the thing! Look for the thing! I'm so bad at multitasking. I don't know if I'm worse than most people at multitasking, but I am really bad at it. Let's see if I can find this one I'm looking for. I can show you a few original characters, I guess. It depends. I shouldn't get your hopes up. Because the character, like, the final design for the character that Apollo is based on, I'm keeping, like, semi-secret because of the fact that it's going to be reveal in the first game, or in their debut game. And a lot of the game art with a lot of these characters has that character in it in their revealed state, so that restricts me a little. Excuse me. Let me catch up a little bit. You have ADHD too. It's undiagnosed, Cecilia, so I hesitate to talk about it often, but every single time I see any sort of mention of it, scientifically, symptoms, living conditions, like every single thing about it is just 100% me every single time. So I think it's pretty clear that I have it, and my parents always thought so, but they were never able to get me tested. So yeah, I struggle with that a lot, but I try to use it as a gift as well, as an artist. Okay, I'll get this picture. I'll get this picture, and then I'll catch up on chat. I have so I can give you guys something new to look at instead of a white screen. Where is she? Oh, I know where it is. Okay, I'm really glad I remembered that I put it in a special place, or else I would have never found it. Literally, I would not have found it this stream. Good. Where is it? Where is she? There she is. Okay, are you guys ready to see Azure? So what made me think about this was I was thinking about the conversation about buff women in media, and I saw that in the Discord, and they were wondering about me drawing buff furry women. Well, this is Azure. Welcome to her. Alright, I'll catch up on chat now. King also says going... Yeah, that was the last thing I said. Sweem! Sweem! Exactly. Episode 9 is fantastic. I literally stood up once you hit the checkpoint and started pacing around the store. My parents were like, "Are you alright?" I responded, "Maybe." When I hit the boy checkpoint. I wondered how that moment were like... Because I wanted it to be this moment of haze, like dimness, where it's like, what is that? Could it be? Because we've never seen that as a checkpoint before. And then have like that moment, like, should they actually try to touch it? Should he actually try to touch that? Could it kill him? And then it turns out to be a checkpoint. Episode 9 is my favorite. I think it is still my favorite too. 17, like, I think 17 might be one of the highest quality, and it's of course the capitulation of the arc, so that of course it is extremely meaningful for that reason. But there's something about episode 9. There's something about episode 9. Celine was... You confirm you're one of the only ones... you all are some of the only ones originally hooked in by 9 to this day. Still love and keep bringing it up in Discord. How Will never chose leave. Because what kind of monster? Yeah. Eagle Eye says I've been following since around the 2nd episode because of the TGIF subreddit. Nice! You're one of probably the very few people who found it through that. Mystic says, on the topic of ADHD, I've been hyperfixated on Petscop for a few months now, and Diminish is definitely an extension of that. Thank you for providing my ADHD brain with things to analyze. I've got you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Curse Calendar joined the Diminish hive mind when you saw it being discussed on the GIFSCOP Discord. Yeah, I saw interesting. I am in the GIFSCOP Discord, and I saw interesting discourse about Diminish in its early stages. So that's cool that you found it that way. Migraines, welcome. Migraine says, "Who else does Apollo? What else does Apollo like besides water?" Great question. Great question. I might have to think about this a little bit. Of course, we know they like belly rubs. Let me see if I can find, because when I did the bios, there are probably going to be more sides to it. If that's a minor thing, I guess a spoiler, but you can look forward to there maybe being more sides to the bios past A and B. Let me see if I can find some for Apollo. That I might have actually... A and B might have gotten all of them, though, that I have already written down for the likes and dislikes. Let's see. That's not it. I was probably in the right place initially. Consarnate. Yeah, here it is. They're like belly and chest rubs, sunbathing, nature, posing, carrots, admirers, and laughter. Those are the things that I put in. They like people. They really like interacting with people. Especially in ways that where people are like in celebration. They really enjoy celebration and celebratory gatherings and celebrating strengths and bringing out people's strengths. They really love being social in that way. So, those are some things that Apollo likes besides water. Talking about you saying yeah, I saw a lot of reactions to that. I saw reactions to things that was in Diminish that were not favorable, but that's fine. Celine says Diminish is definitely turning into, I hesitate because we're not officially diagnosed, but we're about as sure as you can be before finally getting that appointment we're trying to get, but Diminish is definitely turning, and I totally am with you there, Diminish is definitely turning into some sort of ADHD hyperfixation or ASD special interest for us. It's just so good. Thank you. And yeah, I'm on that wavelength as well. I struggle talking about things that I haven't been explicitly diagnosed for, but there's some things, it's just like, it's so clear. Debut game, yes indeed. There are several other games I'm working on, with original characters and original stories. With many characters you have not seen yet, including this one, Azure, which you have seen now. Cecilia Aragorn says, mine is as well, so I completely trust you when you say you have ADHD. Okay, thank you. That's nice of you to say. You're officially my hero? I don't want to disappoint you, but thank you. I'm just a guy. I'm just a comb boy. I'm just another dummy, but thank you so much. I hope I can present you happiness and ways that you can process your life that make you happy and make life easier. King Ozzo says, wow, there are a lot of people here with ADHD, yeah, yourself included, yeah. Cecilia says, your level of productivity while struggling with ADHD is absolutely one of the most inspiring things I've seen. It is a struggle sometimes. There are months and months at a time, especially, it happens with every project usually, especially Project Zadia, where I dedicate like 3 hours of the night to having a work session. And I spend the entire 3 hours staring at the screen. Just staring, just cannot start, just can't do it. And luckily, it's happened a couple of times while working on Diminish, but the last year or so, I've been fairly productive, but still not been able to do much with Project Zadia, and it's so frustrating and so disheartening, but Diminish went extremely well for Act 1 so far. I hope it continues. But I'm glad that it's inspiring you. New Chromia, welcome, hello. Good to see you. New Chromia says, ah yes, there's no more of this thing left because I binged it. What do I do with my life now effect? God, yeah. Yep, that is a mood. Celine says, absolute same boat you're in, re-ADHD or possibly ASD. I'm trying to get an official diagnosis because I'm pretty much positive otherwise. It just matches too perfectly. Cecilia says, for me, there are days I just genuinely feel like such garbage, and that like I will never be able to be as productive as someone normal. Those days are the worst, but to know that you can be this productive while struggling with something like that, then wow, you inspire me. It is possible. It is absolutely possible. And there are ways that you can, this is a topic that I don't want to be too sure or one note about, because it is there is a spectrum for a lot of these things, and there's a spectrum with how you can approach thinking about these things and how you can treat them and how it applies specifically to you. But I believe the way that I was born that are very divergent and that cause me struggles. I think for a lot of those things, I found ways to use them to my advantage in the things that I'm using for self-improvement or to improve at various things in life. And one of those things happens to be my crippling hyperfixation, and it's unhealthy with things like how I hyperfixate on water. But I've decided to embrace those things and charge my creative process and my training in all sorts of different things in life, and I try to use the things that... Gosh, I'm floundering now. I believe that whenever you're born different with conditions, the way that it makes you different can be used to your advantage, and it's probably easier for some people than others depending on the way they had the condition and their specific life situations. But I think that it gives you a slant on life that can make you more powerful in a way than people who don't have the experiences that you do, and who don't have the living conditions, like, who don't have the brain that you do, the body that you do. I'm not doing a very good job at all at expressing this, but I hope that you can sort of feel what I'm trying to say. I'm a little upset at how poorly I articulated it, but I don't want to spend too long trying to find the right words. I'm gonna move on. But yeah, I've tried to find how to turn it into a strength, into not a weapon, but like how to use my disadvantages to my specific advantage in whatever ways I can, and there are ways that it's worked. So sorry if that was really confusing and roundabout and strange, but I'm getting to the reactions for Azza right now. Oh yeah, sorry, that's weird cursive. Let me write the actual... That is how you spell it. It's just a random collection of letters. It doesn't have much of an etymology, because that was how I started world building. The world that she's from was just random crap. But the culture she's from was also Eastern inspired, but without me actually researching Eastern cultures, and so it was kind of weird. Hopefully when I revisit this world, it's gonna be a little bit better from my end, but I still love Azure. Her nickname is Ray, but she only lets very, 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 very few people call her that. Maybe even one person. Like her, thank you. Trey says, I have ADHD-like tendencies that constantly wanting to hold or chew on things, but I'm not hyper unless if I'm really excited, yeah. If I showed you my fingers, you'd see my tendency to want to chew on things as well. King Ozo said, all throughout episode 17 I was like, good God, give the man a checkpoint. Yep. Eagle Eye says, I followed on the Twitter... Sorry, I'm really behind, guys. Eagle Eye says, I followed the Twitter when it had like 3 or 4 followers. Thank you for being with me for so long. Really appreciate it. It's awesome to have you. Celine says, we need Apollo belly rubs art now. Do it, people. Do it. Cecilia Aragorn says, more sides! Celine says, hey, when I was back getting the rubs, doing the leg kick thing, this is... required. King Ozo says, as for episode 9, I like the idea that Apollo kept his spikes. Yeah. Either as a weapon or as a memento. Migraines says, also I wanted to say regarding diagnosis, self or professional, you know yourself more than any therapist, so if you do the research and you feel you can relate to the symptoms presented, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I might have this. Misdiagnosis happens even in professional settings, so you're not, like, bad for saying you have something and later deciding it might be something else. I appreciate that, that 2 cents very much. Thank you, Migraines. New Chromia says, well, of course, they're a biohazard. You can't just leave your chest spikes laying around. Mystic says, do you have a voice claim for Apollo? Do you mean like the person that I would want most to be their actor or actress? Is that what you mean? I'll wait till you clarify before I answer. King Azo says, dude, I would love to see the other games. Ooh, that makes me feel things inside. I might show you a little bit of Eva, who I mentioned in a previous stream, the intense aquaphobe. Then Waff says, I've been lurking, but I relate so much to the ADHD thing you mentioned. Every time I see anything about it, I'm like, that is literally my life, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely becoming something that people are much more aware of, which is an amazing thing. Hopefully, it becomes something that is able to be completely, and most beneficially controlled in people's lives, in all the right ways in the future. And we've definitely made some huge strides in that regard recently. I like the Comboys. They are quite funny fellows. Venwoff says, they are walking, and I like that. That is a powerful combination of chat comments. That is extremely powerful. Celine says, well, after you've binged it, that's what the Discord is for. Yep. I'm so happy that it's become a community that people can use to deal with those feelings in... How do you spell it? Like Comboy or Comboy? Or Comboy? I love it. Whichever one makes you feel best. Yeah, do whatever you want, M. Million. Process the material the way that makes you feel the best. That's exactly what I said for your last comment, but it's how I feel. Last comment, not last comment. Cowboy Comboy. Oh no, there's gonna be art of the Comboys with Stetson hats. I love that very much. Celine says, unrelated question. Is that picture of Azure posted anywhere, like on a gallery site or something? It is on my Twitter, yeah, and there's a colored version which I'm very dissatisfied with. That's why I went to the sketch. I really like how the sketch came out. It is on the Serious Song Twitter, somewhere in the media. You can dig through some other art that I'm either proud or unproud of to get there. And also, I will say, there is a version of the design of the character that inspired Apollo somewhere in that media, and I haven't taken it down, and I don't know if I will, so you are allowed to search for that if you want, and see if you find the character that I am talking about. The character that inspired Apollo's design. It probably will be obvious if you find it. All of the Diminish characters need hats. Thank you so much, Celine. Thank you. Cecilia Aragorn says, no, you're expressing your ideas of ADHD perfectly. I completely feel and understand that. Thank you. You really like my outlook on that sort of thing? Thank you. And using hyperfixations to help with creation. Yeah, you should see the castle we've been working on in Dragon Quest Builders 2. DQ. Dragon Quest Minecraft, basically, and representing our system headspace. That sounds awesome. You think people with ADHD need big swords. Celine, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I'd actually like to see that at some point. Yeah, feel free. Have you shared anything like that in the Discord? I think a lot of people would be interested in that, if you're comfortable with it. I don't want to pressure you into doing it. Million says, look at me being able to read cursive. Yeah, I don't know how many of you have been taught cursive in school. I was. But I think that has been phased out. And I'm talking about American schools, like, that might only apply to that, but... King Ozza says, there have been times when it's made my life hell, but I think there are times when it's helped. And... yeah, there are a lot of things about it that you can't control, especially with it making your life hell. But whenever you can find ways to process it and get on top of it, and improve your life with it, then you have found a way to use your lot in life as a gift that is like it's like you're wrestling it into something that is improving your life that other people aren't allowed to have. Like they weren't given that chance to have what you have, and that can be a cool feeling when you're realizing that you're doing that. It can help you feel more hope about the entire situation. Celine says having a system is definitely a huge example of turning a neurodivergency into a strength too. Yeah, that was the feeling that I immediately got when I saw you and Fluffbite, and now Machine Elves. That it's all of you using it to live life more enjoyably, and it's you're turning into a gift where like now you automatically are spending time with people that you love all the time. I find that very nice, and I am very I root for you guys so much. I love it. Render progress. We are at 32%. Mystic says voice claim thing. Yes, essentially what you imagine they'd sound like. I've thought about this a few times, and I can't quite get... I don't know if I've gotten a true handle on what their voice sounds like yet. Obviously, I've been trying to figure out when I create their voice, like their voice samples, which, by the way, I do through using instruments that I have acquired on like free samples online or ones that I create in FL Studio, and I do a bunch of pitch warping or in-program edits, and that's how I create Apollo's voice, and many of the other sound effects that you hear. Basically, all of them are created by me. And I landed upon a quality of voice that's kind of a little raspy and like a high tenor, I think. Apollo sounds like they have a lot of range. Apollo would be an unbelievable singer. Like maybe like an Adam Lambert or something, I don't know. I'd need to hear Adam Lambert talk normally again. Like Brendan Urie, ooh. Ooh! But yeah, I'd have to think more about that. But that's an amazing question, Mystic. King Oslo says, I suffered a lot throughout my early years of school because my teachers didn't know how to handle students with ADD/ADHD. Glad this is getting more awareness now. Word. Yeah. Absolutely. And I experienced that. My mother recently retired. Spent almost 30 years, I think, as a grade school teacher, middle school teacher. Was a 4th grade teacher for the last, like, 18, 20 years. I actually had her in 4th grade. That was a beautiful year. She was not easy on me. She did not display any favoritism at all. It was just a great year. And yeah, so she had to go through a lot more training to her happiness. She had to go through a lot more training for a lot of that stuff. Autism training especially. Did a lot of autism training. A lot of general, not general, a lot of widened psychological conditions, mental conditions training for her job, and I'm very happy with that. I'm glad that's happening. Celine says Tony J. Is that in response to the voice conversation? Who does Tony J? Trey says, I want to see the comb boys swimming underwater in Act 2. Maybe even a comb army like all the fish in Finding Nemo. I never thought about the comb boys swimming before that. That sounds so good. God. That sounds hilarious. Celine says... I can't remember what they're responding to me with. Says, oh, I have not, mostly because it's not done yet, but I totally could, thank you. Trying to remember what that might be in response to, if it was in response to me. Oh, cursive, the cursive question. God, I'm so far behind. I'm sorry, guys. King Oslo says, I learned cursive, I don't remember most of it. Celine can't remember yet. Mystic says, I was taught cursive in school, but my school was pretty old-fashioned. Fair. Curse Calendar says, I learned cursive, but I pretty much forgot everything. That's pretty much me. Learned it, but forgot it. Okay, so it seems like mostly it's still what I had in school. Emmeline says, I was taught cursive, reading and writing it, but it was a Catholic school, so of course they had that. Now my handwriting is forever cursed as a print cursive hybrid. That sounds great, though. Trey says, they tried teaching cursive in my elementary school. They failed. Fair. King Otso says, Apollo seems like they'd have a very deep voice. Yeah, I oscillate, because I also imagine them with a classically feminine voice, and I like how that sounds too. Cecilia says, I don't know about super deep, mostly because I wish for it to be at least somewhat similar to my voice, yeah. Nuchromia says, friendly and bouncy tone coming from a mildly deep and raspy voice. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine them having an expressive voice for sure. King also says he'd have a deep narrator voice. In a world. Curse Counter says, also, Drew Apollo, lol, please. I must see. Oh, I saw your little doodle the other day, and I loved that. Is this something new? Yes, Top Hat Apollo. Lol. Incredible. Thank you so much. Celine says, yes, that was in response to the voice conversation. Tony J is Frollo in Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think I saw like half of that movie when I was like 5, so that might be... So I unfortunately can't get a reference in my head. Also, the guy in charge of the asylum in Beauty and the Beast. Interesting, okay. I also can't remember that guy's voice. Cecilia, yeah. The Top Hat, yes! Also did stuff in the Legacy of Kain series and was Megabyte in Reboot. Interesting. Yeah, so sorry that it took me so long to get caught up, guys. I'm basically caught up now. Virgil and the Fowl. Actually from the Mighty Max cartoon. Posted screenshots of the Dragon Quest Builders 2 in Discord. They're up now. Let's take a look at this. Art off topic? Yeah. Ooh, what? Oh, gosh. As someone who has never played Minecraft, and also hasn't seen as much of Minecraft as probably most people on the internet, but has seen enough to know how impressive this is blowing my mind. This looks wonderful. Thank you for sharing this. I'm also not super familiar with Dragon... Oh, actually, I've started to become more familiar with Dragon Quest through one of my favorite speedrunner streamers, who mostly speedruns the NES Dragon Warrior games. I've started to learn a bit more about that franchise. He played Dragon Quest, which is the new one? 11? Is 11 the new one, or is it 12? So I saw some of that. It looks like a really rich and cool franchise. Of course, in the Akira Toriyama fashion of everything is made up and death doesn't matter. Gotta love it. Never change, Akira. Mystic says, yes, I picked up on the fact they sounded feminine. That's so awesome, especially coming from a trans-masculine person. Awesome. Yeah, that's what feels most right to me, is them having some femininity. Femininity. God, guys, I'm a disaster. You know what I mean. That feels the most correct to me. They would probably have like a deep alto female voice, if I had to guess. That would be Apollo's voice. I don't have any references off the top of my head, I don't think. Like a raspy, deep alto woman might be their actress. That sounds right to me. Trey says, I can imagine Apollo's first language being some alien-like language, because there are different cries throughout the episode, and then their second to be English with a weird, interesting accent. Another very, very interesting, interesting idea, because that's how I feel about the character that inspired Apollo. Celine, thank you. Yeah, wait till see it's done. I can't even imagine. Migraine says, I think Apollo being fluent in Greek could make sense based on them being a god with a shared namesake and similar meanings. Anemones. Anemones. Indeed. Alright, I might try and make something of a ref. thank you all for being here again. This has become one of my favorite things to do. I'm not a very social person. I'm a gigantic introvert. But something about this type of interaction, I guess parasocial, if we have to call it that, feels really nice to me. It allows me the type of agency over the length of the interaction and the way I can express myself that makes it feel like I'm not losing energy like by gallons by the second. And also this specific environment with all of you guys being incredible that does not hurt. So I want to make use of this while it's here, and I'm so grateful to all of you for giving me this opportunity to have this interaction. Apollo seems like the type of person / creature to be fluent in almost every language in existence. It would be very good lore. How, like, have you been peeking in on my brain while I have been creating the other character? How is it that you keep on picking up on all of these things that I have in mind for the character that inspired Apollo? What's the render at? Asks Cecilia. It is at 41%. Thank you for asking. Celine says, oh gosh, so like actually that voice description sounds close to where I am at this point, mostly from being male to female trans and slowly trying to bring my natural voice from masculine to feminine. That would be a really cool thing about giving Apollo a voice someday. Might be the way that all people from many different angles of that sort of experience would be able to find kinship in that. That would be amazing. Oh, yes. So, I want to be the son. I'm so happy to have the chance. Believe it or not, I'm reminded how lucky I really am. King Ozo says, I know that this word gets thrown around so much to the point where it's lost most meaning, but you seem like genuinely wholesome and down-to-earth person. That makes me feel very fulfilled and genuinely joyful. Thank you, King Ozo. That's mostly what I want to be. And what I hope to be. Eagle Eye says, I have really bad social anxiety and I had a tough time joining the Diminish server, but I'm so glad I built up the courage to join. That is wonderful to read. That is wonderful to read. I'm happy that that has provided an environment in which you can find a place of improvement and progress in your life and a point of general happiness. I'm so happy. Thank you, Celine. Yeah, that's another thing, is that I don't have a ton of trust or faith in humanity as a whole these days, but what that does is it really drives home how beautiful and meaningful moments like this are. And I'm going to treasure this one for as long as it lasts. So I'm gonna take advantage of these streams, I think. Their ears don't need to be like that all the time. doesn't need to be that big. I don't know. Cecilia says, also, as for an earlier comment, don't worry, you physically can't let me down. I'm very acutely aware of the kinds of things that are dangerous and idolization of people, don't meet your idols, etc. That's a heartening thought. Cecilia says, but you're genuinely so inspiring that it's worth getting in a little risk of being disappointed in the future. You're a good person from what I know, and I'd love to see more in general. It means the world to me, and I'm glad that you have that standpoint in regards to viewing a person in that way. Still very much my hero and still very much human and alive. Thank you. That's beautiful. King Azo says, also my inner aspiring voice actor is telling me to try voicing Paulo. Send it my way. I'd love to hear the attempts. Can't promise anything, of course, but that would make my day. Trey says, LMAO, I love analyzing appearances in different characters when it comes to movies, shows, and other mysterious people in the world. Spooshy says, kind of off topic, but one of my favorite bits of writing in Diminish is how we're introduced to the word Olympian in reference to Apollo, literally meaning from Mount Olympus. Because the first time you see Apollo referenced as an Olympian is when they're called the Immortal Olympian in their bio, right? Trey says, predicting people and their personalities is something I'm naturally good at for some odd reason. That's your superpower. Got it. Chris Calendar says, I recognize the Diminish font from Faith, a game I haven't played, and learned that Faith uses the same font from The Legend of Zelda, a game that I own on the Game Boy. That's a fun happenstance. Thank you for telling me that. That's very funny. Spooshy says, so when we see it again in episode 9 as Olympian in training, we're primed to make that connection first, so it's a fun surprise to learn that Teddy was an actual modern-day Olympian. That's cool. Thanks for letting me know that. I like that. I like hearing that. Celine says, you know what? I'm actually going to excuse myself for minutes because I want to bring up episode 9 and try voicing it. I'll post it on the Discord when it's done and then return. Yo! Go get it! Go get it! Go! Yes, Celine! Yes, Celine Queen. Do it. Thank you for even trying. Let's go. Alright. That's exciting. Okay, so this one is going up. Yes. This one is going down. Yes. This one is going all around town. It is a bit too buff. It is a bit too buff. Better. The render, let's see. Is it close to 50%? 47. That is close to 50%. New Chromia says, alright, I got a bed that's calling my name and I should be responsible and answer. See you. Tell it to screw off! No. See you off in the next round if I can make it. Thank you for showing up, New Chromia. It was great to have you with us. Sleep well. Hopefully your bed is kind to you. Trey says, I don't even have a Discord and I'm thinking of making one just for this community. Oh, wow. It is a pretty nice community. Gotta say. Continually impressed. We help each other out there. Yeah, I joined just because I wasn't going to be able to stay away from seeing a community build around my first published original project. And then I stayed for how ridiculously awesome the community is. Switch up the hair here. I just looked at how I look while I'm poring over the tablet, and I didn't like that. Looked very messy and directly in view. So let's change it. Let's see how this agrees with me. Aha! We'll try it. Eagle Eye says, I went through a huge art burst and somehow didn't draw Apollo. I did start a sketch, but I never finished it because I stink at drawing abs. I have a secret for you. So, if you want to draw a six-pack, it's like drawing 6 squares with rounded edges, and then you can try making various parts of them blend into each other, and then near the belly button, of course, you make a belly button. And then the bottom abs, they tend to progress into the into the pelvis area. And then on the sides of the abdominals, you give a bit more definition because this general area, I almost lifted my shirt and gave my abdomen for reference. That would have been interesting. There's one of the things that's satisfying about a very defined abdominal region is the general definition that runs all the way down the side. So like this. And so if you bring that out, it looks very satisfying. And then darken one area to show where the abs are most prominent. And then as they go down into the lower abs, they usually are less prominent. But the thing that helps is remembering how to start the shapes, which is just like these rounded squares. And then there's technically like a bit more as you go into the chest area. And then you got the serratus anterior and whatnot. Anyway, that's a quick couple of tips. Don't know if those help at all, but there you go. This might come as a shock, even though I mentioned it earlier in a different stream, but I really love drawing anatomy and muscles. Although I am way too much of a goody two-shoes to draw a certain collection of organs in either biological sex, if that makes sense. I cannot bring myself to do that. In most cases. Like, I've done it before, just because you should at some point, but it didn't feel good doing it. I'm weird, I don't know. Like, see, I'm gonna do it for Apollo here. You see, like, this is their abdominal region. Like, this would be the definition of their abs here. So you're progressing into their lower abdomen here. This entire line here on the side tends to be a nice way to bring out the abdominal section, and you don't have to define the abs here. If you tend to bring out this region, it's a nice and efficient way to suggest athleticism and a sleek, lithe figure like this. Just using this line right here. And it also helps you map out the character's torso in 3D space too. And it also helps you kind of measure how long the torso is and figure out where to start the pelvis and their lower body. Look at that cake. God. Look at that cake. Why do I say such things? Yeah, I just noticed it's a bit too wide. Skinny boy. Lovely, lovely skinny boy. Skinny, skinny them boy. Gorgeous, gorgeous boy. These sounds are just coming out of my throat. I'm not trying to say these things. So here's some serratus interior. I don't know if I'll include them actually, because most renditions of Apollo do not include the serratus interior. Yeah, just the ribs, just the rib definition usually. And I don't actually know if I'm pronouncing that muscle group correctly. The serratus interior? That's not really how ribs work. Whatever. I need to look up. Sorry. It does help to use yourself as a reference. It really does. Highly recommend it. Back in the hot cross buns. That jawline on Apollo is on fleek right there. Agreed. Anatomy, like, it's obviously I can't speak. I'm extremely biased as somebody who just adores drawing anatomy, but I think it is a very rewarding thing to work on. Don't be sorry, King Ozzo, by the way. Question for chat. I had to look that up, unfortunately. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can't speak to a shared experience on that. I've always had that very, very vivid for myself. Are we past 50 yet? 54%, let's go! The moment is upon us. Kinda. Oh, I'm looking at the disc. Oh, yep, you found that stuff. Yep. Yeah, you found null. Cool. Found OG Apollo, indeed. That is not the final design, though, so that's why I was okay with you seeing that. Because Null is not going to look quite like that when his time finally comes. I shouldn't have made this so big. Come on. Make life easier for yourself, dude. Come on. Look at that. What's wrong with that? This is going to be more like this from this angle. King Ozzo. Diminish recreation win. That would be interesting to see if people actually try to recreate the original in the TGIF version. Very good at memorizing various things. I'm quite the opposite. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cecilia, that you're not getting many people who share troubles with Fantasia right away here. I wonder how tall Apollo would be if they raised all the way up on their haunches. Defied the digitogrid. Keep drawing their souls a bit raised. I don't know if that's proper. But they're a monster design, so I can get away with inaccuracies for common anatomy. Zeus may be the god of thunder. Does anybody know what's coming? But this boy, Apollo, is the god of thunder thighs. Oh, I'm going mad with power. Mystic has posted their Apollo art on Twitter. Ha 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 ha. I'm sick of my hair right now. I know it's self-imposed, but Jesus! You think I'm exaggerating? You think I'm exaggerating right now? Dude, screw my drawing. My drawing sucks. Ah! You guys see this? The full version is a reply to it. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, God. Beefy paws, yes. We have to see the beefy paws. That is not the correct command. Oh, I need to get a bigger canvas. I need to get the 5x5 again. Oh. This is unbelievable. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for making it. Several days ago, I had never had fan art before. Except, things drawn for me by friends. People who I was close to already. I wasn't ready for that at all. I was so unprepared to see this. Yeah, imagine what the actual beans look like on the other side. Except you probably shouldn't. Just the pure mental image of the beans is probably enough to kill someone.
Will, I'm trying to platform across these spikes, but I'm dummy thick. And the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the comb boys.
Hell, it was alright until the last part. Let me catch up a little bit. Why were people talking about like 7 feet, 6 feet 2 inches? Are people guessing? I don't know. Yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna retweet it. Don't worry, that is happening. Your muscle anatomy is okay. Absolutely. It is very okay. This is beautiful. That hand, yes. That everything. Yeah, the noticing mistakes moment, I don't know if there's ever a time when that doesn't happen, but this is perfect to me. Your voice has been posted. Exciting things happening right now. Celine, do you see this? Oh, you asked how tall Apollo would be. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Yeah, completely forgot. I'm sorry. God. I'm gonna listen to the voice now, yeah. Oh, we got one of the eye shooty things looking at Birdie. Aww. Oh, that was the original from, like, episode 3. That's amazing, too.
Pain is mortal.
Celine, before I do this, do you have objections to me listening to this right now, while my audio is on stream? Or would you prefer I did it in private? What is our progress here? 64%. Apologies for... It's gonna be great. You know it's good when Spooshy took their finger off the shift bar too early. Once it makes you want to revisit an old joke web series started making. You have my attention. Go for it? Okay. So I'll go ahead and... I think I'm going to need to turn up the desktop audio. Let me know if this is too loud. Too much Celine.
Lived. Pain is mortal. It can be outlived. That's what I've always done, because I never knew better.
Oh, shit.
It's a privilege that I think is caught up with me. If you let pain die while you still live, something goes wrong. Something is lost and nothing is gained back. I think you're supposed to make room so it has somewhere to stay with you. Then you can nurture it into something else. This really sucks ass, though. I want you to pity me. Being immortal isn't my choice. Whether that's a curse or a blessing is my choice. I choose to make this moment a gift. I'm forced to survive this, but I will grow from it on my own. Hopefully somehow you will too. I'm going to help you pick up the shards of glass. It's why I'm right here, where I am.
Thank you, Celine.
Because you were looking. This is all I ever wanted.
Noted.
Not the spikes, but a chance to turn flowers into mighty trees, led to the heavens by sunlight. I want to be the sun. I'm so lucky to have the chance. If you'll believe it, I'm reminded how lucky I really am. Because my spine is severed, and yet I can feel every single nerve in my legs pleading for death. Which means it's time to stand up. Ow! Shit! Oh my fucking fuck! Fuck! Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Fuck. I keep the reflection of this moment. It's showing me something new. Yes, it's true. That experience will forever be broken glass beneath my memory's steps. But I just picked up a shard, and I choose to carry it with me. I hope you can look through it too. What do you see? Does it send you forward or back? I'm actually powerless, you know. All my supposed power can only manifest in your mind. So whenever you're reflecting off of me, try showing me any words you can find. Then we can look together. Don't forget, you are alive.
I'm extremely impressed. That was interesting for me because I was kind of experiencing the scene, like, I was reliving it without having the lines in front of me for the first time. That was my first experience with, like, dialogue in Diminish or writing in Diminish where I wasn't seeing it. And so when you got to, this really sucks ass, though. That killed me. That was such a good delivery, Celine. That was so well done. That was an amazing first reading. I'm extremely impressed. You have a really cool quality to your voice too, and that's not an easy cold reading to do where you're trying to. I mean, you're like, that's a reading of somebody who is impaled by spikes, and you're trying to sell that. And I think you sold that. And in a very specific, and I mean this in a good way, in that sort of specific cartoonish, like, somewhat anime, but like more Western-inspired delivery, that take on pacing and the quality of the delivery, like, or not, like, the quality of vocal delivery, you know. That was a lot of fun. That was beautiful. I hope the balance was okay with Celine's voice and mine, because I had to do a quick guesswork on where to adjust my desktop audio. What a gift! What an incredible gift! Celine, thank you for doing that. Thank you for allowing me to share it here. Thank you, thank you so much, Mystic, for that unbelievable fan art. And that takes us to 69% on the soundtrack video rendering. Could this moment get any better? Now, let me catch up on chat here. Yeah, on Apollo's height, I think somewhere in the like the 6 feet range is definitely definitely plausible. But the character that you guys found, who Apollo is based on, visually, that character, while bent in the digitogrid, is almost 9 feet tall. So picture that, and with a more grotesque design. And you'll maybe have an idea of what I'm going for there. Many great reactions to Celine saying that she posted the art. Haven't even seen the reactions to hearing it yet. More like apologies? More like Apollo G's. Apollo G's. Beautiful. Mystic. Apollo, I am hearing Apollo! This is not a drill. I am hearing Apollo. This is Apollo. This is what Apollo sounds like. I agree. That would be if... I encourage you, if I ever do casting for Apollo, if there's ever a piece of media where they are going to be voiced, I absolutely encourage you to try out. I really want you as part of that pool of talent. Celine. Wonderful, great, yes, yes. Applause, yes. Cecilia says, I wonder how Apollo would react. I felt in their writing they were very calm, experiencing the pain, but still very stoic. I feel like she captured that very well too. And that's one of the interesting things about Apollo as a character, is they're like, they have that stoicism at most times, despite their rampant narcissism and their general not whimsical, but their view on the world being from that sort of more playful and childish standpoint in some regards. But they are definitely a somewhat stoic personality. But not in a super serious way, you know? Because usually when you think stoic, you think of like very dark and mysterious and very serious, like sort of pensive, or like Apollo is pensive, but like a very rigid person, like very, you know? Yeah, Celine, for not having like training or experience or like setting out to be a voice actress, that's very impressive. That shows a lot of innate understanding of the craft, which is extremely rare, and a lot of people who aspire to be voice artists for a career may never truly innately have. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Eagle Eye says, hey Syria, are there any games you're looking forward to this year? What games are coming out this year? You might have to refresh my memory. If my friend is releasing his game Nycra this year, which I hope he does because he wanted to do a 2020 release, and I think he's been wanting to release it for a few years, I'm very much looking forward to a game called Nycra. Nykra. I'll post a link to it on Twitter. Oh, first, I'll retweet Oliver's art. Good freaking god. And I'll find... Yeah, okay. This is the Twitter for a game that I'm very much looking forward to. Silk Song, I'd have to look that up. Celine says, be right back, going to go blush to death now. We will be ready with a blood transfusion whenever you need us. Thank you so much, Celine. 73% on the render. Resident Evil Village and Dying Light 2. Cool, cool. Yeah, that's the cool thing, Celine, about this, is that that was your initial reading, like, without any sort of notes, without any sort of, things told to you going in, aside from just your initial, understanding of the work itself, your own take on it, and your first take. And so there's so many different things you could do. 73%, whoop! Spoopy, welcome! I hope you're doing well. Nice to have you. Have you heard Celine's voice take on Apollo. They came up with an awesome, an awesome interpretation of the character that I think sounds very much like them. Oh God, I'm thinking back to it and I'm kind of squeeing. Cecilia says, I was wondering if you'll get around to checking the captions tomorrow or something like that. I just want to know if you'd have notes on them or something, if you'd want me to keep going. I think I'd want you to keep... Yeah, I'll check them as soon as I can. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight. Because I want to have a time where I can really focus all my energy on it, and learn how to put captions in and stuff. And so, yeah, I will get back to you as soon as possible. And thank you again. Thank you again. Wow. Oh. Oh, life is cool. Oh, and Growl made something else. Oh my God. 'Tis but a burden to be fine as hell. When my abs aren't even showing, what's the point of anything? Gotta share this too. Absolutely gorgeous. I probably could share this on the same... Yes. That's cool. I like doing that. God, that's such... Oh. You all nail them every single time. Every time, you just nail them. Perfect. I'll give it some time. And then I'll retweet this one next, I think. That's gorgeous. Look at the boy. Oh my God, that's adorable. Skeleton McGee. You can just upload a file? Okay. But yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I'll let you know when I do, Cecilia. Lemon Guts with an underscore. Goodness, I'm sorry. Let's see if I'm physically capable of hitting a key that I'm trying to hit. How is this happening? How is this actually happening? I love the eyebrows too. And the little tufts of fur. "'Tis but a burden to be fine as hell!" This is perfect. All this stream has become, every time, is just me like failing at whatever I'm trying to do, and then just looking at fan art and melting on camera. Alright, Celine. Seen a bit. It is pretty damn good. It is pretty damn good. Very, very impressive. Legit promise there. Mystic says, people sometimes complain about furries liking Diminish, but little do they know furries are talented as hell artists. This is something that people really, really only like to focus on the absolute worst thing, like, perceived worst things about the identity of a furry, which is not even, like they focus on the worst acts of a furry and then conflate it with the identity of a furry, for one thing, when the two are very different things, and then they willfully ignore the many positive things that have resulted from the community. So yes. The witch hunting and just the war against furries that I've sort of witnessed as I've grown up on the internet is something that I feel passionate about, while being mostly only furry adjacent myself. I've never participated in the community myself much. But God, do I sympathize. As a person who has spent most of my life being responded to by people trying to find every single possible way they can to belittle or devalue the way I try to exist. Luckily, not in the last 8 years or so. It's switched, and I've become one of the most well-treated people that I know, and I'm very grateful and I'm very fortunate. But before that, it's interesting when the moment you become an acrobat with actual skill, how quickly people start to treat you differently. And you wonder. But I'm glad, because I've thought about if I had chosen any sort of other design for the main playable character for Diminish, and like, because my original thought was to make them like an elf, like Rayla from the Dragon Prince. And I wonder how much popular Diminish would be, like how much people would instantly flock to it more than seeing the furry as the avatar. And then I wonder if people would how differently people would respond to the series after seeing it and seeing the community, and how different the community would be. I don't even want to think about that though, because that's part of how I feel is that, like, if you get your panties in a bunch over just the fact that the character is an animal character, then I probably don't want you in the community associated with me as a creator. If that's how shallow the reasoning is. So in actuality, it was a choice that automatically weeded out people that I probably don't want watching Diminish. They'll talk about it and make instant inferences about it based on little to no evidence and only wildly desperate imaginings of what things might be associated with the content. Like when I saw several people think that I was encouraging people to post not safe for work imagery in the Discord, and then everyone was like, oh yeah, I knew that this was just furry trash, when that was not true, and they were probably saying that based on the Twitter photo that I posted where I blurred out the Discord members' names and some of the things they were talking about just to protect their privacy, and none of it was not safe for work. But it was really telling when I saw that people instantly saw that and they were like, oh yeah, I knew that this would just be the lowest form of possible human expression. Interesting. But completely unsurprising. So, there's me getting a bit more negative than I will ever be, basically, ever. I have wondered if I would ever reach a phrase where I would be transparent and open about the ways I feel about humanity that are not all glowing and happy-go-lucky. Things that are maybe controversial. That's the first time I've ever raised a finger about anything in my life because I'm such a pushover and a people pleaser and whatever. That's how I feel about the matter, so. If you disagree and support people who are willfully engaging in mob mentality and trying to spread that and based on no evidence and just a pipe dream because you want to hate people, then I don't want to be associated with you. Let me catch up on chat, now that I've done something that I'm very not used to doing. And any time that I get up on a soapbox like that in my entire life, this is kind of like the first time, again, I want to stress that I don't want people to just listen to my worldviews and my takes and my standpoints and just replace whatever they have in their brain with what I believe and what I say. All I want to do is encourage critical thinking. That's what I hate about what I see people doing, especially when it regards to being hateful toward other people, is that they're not thinking critically in any sort of sense, and if they do think a little bit, they're using critical thinking in a way that's only geared toward supporting their own preferred idealistic view of whatever the subject is. All I want to do is encourage critical thinking, and I don't want to replace your ideologies or viewpoints with my own. I don't want you to become a blind follower of whatever I believe. Or say or think. Kitty! Please, enter. Spoopy says, I wasn't expecting Diminish to blow up this fast. You can say that again. Cecilia says, I wish being a furry automatically made you really good at art. I just want to be good at art like that. It's definitely a good community if you want to start getting into it and start training. It's a great, because the only like furry Discord server I was a part of was an art server. And it was based around the fan cartoon A Fox in Space by Frederick Fox, the Star Fox fan cartoon, and I really appreciated that when I first saw it, so I joined the Discord, and then I joined the other Discord that somebody made for people who are trying to improve at art, and that's what I wanted to do, so I did it, and it helped me so much because it was a welcoming and healthy and encouraging and critical in all the right ways. It was a beautiful art community, and so I only take fond memories from that. And I would like to shout out the Art House, adjacent to the A Fox in Space Discord. I appreciate you all. Appreciate! God, that's become a true problem for me. I keep saying that, relentlessly, in every walk of life. I appreciate you all. Mystic says, I sort of jokingly call myself a furry since I draw furry characters, and by some standards that's enough to be a furry. That's the thing, is that no standards agree with each other. Whether that's in a negative way or not. It's... because I also wonder about myself. I feel that I'm furry adjacent in terms of liking to draw and create animal characters. But I've never really been interested in many aspects of the furry community or the furry fandom. But I feel like a lot of people would call me a furry just because I create characters like Apollo. But I feel like a lot of the people that would do that do it mainly so that they can find somebody to point a finger at and feel better then, so whatever. Apollo for Smash! Please More Cat says, to be honest, what the heck? YouTube. What the heck? I partially only clicked on the series after I saw it recommended because there was a furry in the channel icon. That's another reason why I am glad that I made the decisions I did. The community... I love the community so much because of the way that it's reached the specific people that it has. And given them a voice and given them something to feel heard through, so... I do not regret the decision at all. Even if I would have gotten like 100,000 subscribers from Tony's share, if there wasn't a furry in the channel icon, I would prefer this. I prefer this because this meant something. It meant more having the character be like this to people than the other way around. Trey says, I had a brony face for years, so I understand the struggle of furries and how much they are hated based off the worst things that happen in the community that doesn't nearly represent the community. Word. Curse Calendar says, the closest thing to not safe for work in that screenshot is the jar, which was created on accident. And I still don't understand what the whole thing surrounding that is. I don't know why it's such a cursed thing. I don't know if it should be explained to me. Maybe my innocence should be protected. Cecilia says, people that I think are just bad. It's... Oh, yeah, it's just hard to imagine myself even viewing things like that. Internet figure has unpopular opinion? Impossible. Even though it's a popular opinion. I hope... I don't know. People will find any way to get mad about anything. That is one freaking truth of the universe. It's just... It continues. This continues. It's strange, but you have to say, disagreeing is okay, you can disagree with me. Yeah, it's not even just disagreeing. Like, of course you can disagree with me. That is also okay, but, like, you can also, like, if people agree with me, I want them to still, like, I want to encourage the critical thinking surrounding all of these subjects and surrounding any subject that they face, that they confront. Because if you agree with me, and you adopt every belief and everything I say as yours as well, without thinking critically about it, then that's what I was talking about. Like, that's not what I'm encouraging. Nowadays, parasocial relationships get a little touchy and very sensitive at times, yeah. I'm not worried about you guys too much. You've all given me only things to feel good about so far. The art house? Yeah, I'm still a part of it. So I could link it if you want to join it. I don't know, I haven't been there in like 2 years, so I don't know if it's changed or what's going on there right now, but if it's like it was when I was there, then it's a beautiful place to workshop as an artist. With like-minded people who are all kind of going about it a good way. It was such a good place to be as a budding artist. King Ozo says, honestly, I wouldn't consider myself a furry, but I've had a lot of interaction with the art and the community, same. Some of my best friends are furries, same, and they're wonderful people, same. Just sort of unintentionally surrounding myself with those sorts of people. It happens, yeah. Yeah. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with surrounding yourself with awesome people? And that's why it hurts me very often when I see the war on furries. Let's get that trending. There's a negative stereotype. No, people would hate that. There's a negative stereotype around them, but generally furries are some of the most creative and imaginative people I've known. Agreed. Maybe it's best if you don't understand the jar. Okay, appreciate it. Don't tell me. Please don't tell me. Like, Will got into the jar himself, like what ended up being called the jar, but I feel like there's a meaning behind that moment that I don't know, and thank you for protecting my My poor virgin ears and eyes, maybe. My poor virgin brain. Spoopy says, I'm not a... And by the way, I probably shouldn't use that word, even in a way that's not derogatory. Because that's a nether can of worms. By golly. Spoopy says, I'm not a furry, but I did have a friend who was a furry, and they would often come to my art class, and they would 3D print parts for a fursuit. That sounds like a really cool thing to witness. Okay, Cecilia wants the art house Discord. Okay. But I do not bear responsibility for any state of the server that has arisen in the last 2 years since my last time being there. I'll grab a link for you. And tell them all about Diminish. I don't want to tell people to hawk my work like some sort of car salesman, but nothing wrong with car salespeople, by the way. I don't know why my brain automatically went to that. I'm sorry. Am I able to create invites here? Oh, can I? Maybe only mods can? Sorry, 1 second, I'm trying to get a link for... Oh, that's not the art house. Okay, good thing I didn't get a link for that. Oh, how do you generate links in the app? The desktop app is how I'm logged in as Saria, and the browser is how I'm logged in as my persona for the Diminish Discord, and I don't want to log out of that. Oh yeah, there are only certain ones that they want you to... Or wait, what the heck? How do you do an invite link? Okay, maybe people are screaming it at me. Celine says, are you worried that eagle-eyed readers could compare the art house population versus the Diminish one and find out which account is yours? No, it's a different account. The Diminish account, the Diminish person that I am in there is the only server that account is in, so every single other server that I'm in is as Saria. Innocence has diminished. Yeah, King Azo, you probably know. Most people who have a hunch probably are right. It's probably fairly obvious. Yeah, like, and people can, like, say it. If you want... I don't know. Do I want to do that? Because I still... I don't... I wanted to keep it secret that I was even in the server, because I don't want people to, like, change what they're saying in the server as a result of knowing that I'm seeing what they're saying. I never wanted that. So I also want to be able to kind of chat with people about things, especially serious topics that are unrelated to Diminish, without people knowing that I'm the creator and treating me differently as a result. Not that they would treat me badly, just that I want to be able to have that organic human interaction as a full peer, because even though I still interact as a full peer, and I still do that with all of you, I feel like that would not be a universal thing that would be happening if people know who I am in the server. But I'm sure that it's a lot of people have probably been able to guess through various methods of inferring. I do not hate car salespeople. Yeah, mousing over the channel. See, I'm doing that, but it's like the app doesn't have that feature. God, dude. Can I do it on the phone, maybe? I feel like that would be the same, where it wouldn't do it. Sorry. One moment. Our render is inching closer and closer to completion, though. And we don't have to look at the wallpaper the whole time. I can sketch or do other things while we're listening to the soundtrack. No, like, part of me wants to see if people are right. Give me your guesses. Give me your guesses, and I will try to give you no indication of whether or not you are right. I'm curious. I'm curious. But first I'm gonna look up how to do an invite. There's no option, like, if you click the name, there's no option for invite people. I am sad. Okay, King Azo, I saw your message, and I saw what it was. Interesting. Cecilia... Added you... Oh, you added your guess on Discord. Is it theories? Or... Where is this? I don't see it. Did you, like, do a special way where every single member except one can see it, and that's how you're trying to figure it out? I'm starting to think it might be this guy called Netic. He found out that Proto-Apollo's suspiciously quick. So I guess you can rule Netic out, because Netic is here right now. I guess everybody who's here you can rule out. Wow. Unless one of these people is one of my burner accounts. I don't have any burner accounts. I literally don't. I'm dead serious. I do not have any burner accounts. Like, at all. I don't do that. No, it's Spooshy. Yes, yes, continue to speculate, yes. 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 Good, good. Let the hate flow through you. Witness the full power of the dark side of the Force. I kind of lost it and just turned into Smeagol in the end there. The dark side of the Force. Hi guys, am Will. Kurt is that good. Believe in Kurt. Mystic says, can I lay some knowledge on you, Saria? My name is pronounced Misty Seat. I'm so sorry. Thank you for telling me. I'm really sorry. Yeah, feel free. If anytime I mispronounce anybody's names or am being a general dunce, please let me know. His account is Parson Hex. Parson made Diminish. Or I'm masquerading as Parson. I'm still looking to see, apparently somebody put their guess in Discord. Who was that? That said that? Cecilia said that. Midori. I think I see it now. Yeah, I think they tried to do it in a super classy way, and I think they succeeded. So well done. Sari is just the voice actor. No.
No, no, no.
Saria is Tony, who is actually Vsauce, who is secretly Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. That's the real theory for Diminish. Wacky Will 96. Misty Seat. I have to try and remember that. Apologies if I get it wrong a few more times. It's not your fault. Misty Seat. Tasty Wheat. Gotcha, Cecilia. Indeed, very clever. All of you are so... You're being so... Diminish fans are so cheeky. Okay, we're at 96%. This is not a drill. We're gonna be listening to the soundtrack soon. Tasty Wheat. Oh, poor mouse. Yeah, a lot of you probably know my identity, but as the community grows and less people know that the creator is watching everything in the server, then hopefully it'll be a bit less of a thing that people think about, and that's more of what I want. So I appreciate you all being thoughtful about my feelings on it. If somebody did break the news, then it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't be super mad. It's just I like being able to be a part of the community as a peer. So Carrot Muncher Willie. Willie. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Cecilia Midori, that I can't figure out how to get a frickin' invite link. If I figure it out later, then I'll shoot one over. Thank you, King Azo. Thank you, Cecilia. And everybody else. Who knows? Yeah. You probably all know. I mean, who am I really fooling, honestly? Yeah, like, that's what I mean. Like, at this point, I'm not fooling everybody. I'm not fooling anyone. It's, now that we have people coming in who don't know about... who don't know it, then I don't have to fool, then... that's where we won't have to worry about it, so... Once again, very, very much appreciate all of you. Hey, I said the word right! Good for me. I didn't add a syllable unnecessarily. I hope you guys enjoy me just sitting here and talking and being generally uninteresting with what is happening on the screen, except for incredible fan art. Hello, Azure. Hello, Apollo. Oh, hello. Hello, Apollo. That's my Apollo. That's how I draw Apollo. I missed it. No, that was gonna be such a good resolution. I just screwed the pooch. Oh, this is kind of oblique, though. No, that's not what I want. I want a fully sideways. That's how this works. It needs to be fully sideways. Yeah, like that. That's how references work. Yeah, and one is coming toward the camera, one's going a bit away from the camera. Apollo does have legs for days. Indeed. One-legged Apollo looks sick for the moment. Cecilia says this is a chill stream for me. I wouldn't even mind if literally nothing was happening. The community and you are all I'm here for more than anything. Here, here. I'm glad you all are enjoying. No, I'm not fooling you guys at all, Celine. All of you, I'm sure you know who I am in the Discord. It's just like the new people coming in who don't know about this whole dynamic of me being in there. Maybe they... And now, like, they're coming into a much larger community of people to choose from. And now, especially... what was I gonna say? I'm such a... Okay, anyway. Thank you guys. The similarities are uncanny between Phineas and me, yes. Hello, Mario. It is complete. It is complete. Right as that song ends. Excellent. Excellent. More diminished content is the most enticing plus there is. Yeah, this is all the content that I made in 2 hours. This is the entirety of diminished content that I made in 2 hours. I'll go ahead and save this. This is not... Okay, you guys ready to listen to the soundtrack? Oh, I am in fact fooling you? No, sorry, Celine, I didn't mean to make you feel bad if you know. I thought you were saying that jokingly, like, oh, you're fooling us? Sorry. No, if you're fooled, don't feel bad at all. That's cool. Good. New story arc. The skull comes back to bite Apollo's leg off, so they have to find a spell to grow it back. Hi, kitty. That's assuming they can't do it on their own. Look at that boy! Look at this boy. You see this boy? That peck is, like, inward. This needs to be fixed. That is an improvement, I believe. It's all about the pecs. That's the secret. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, I might see if I can find a way to put a video on the screen so we can witness the wallpaper while the music is playing. Kitty! Kitty! He loves to complain. Even when he has everything. When the peck is sus. Question, what was the design decision behind having Apollo Naruto run in his sprites? Was that a bubble? Did I just create a bubble? How did I do that? I'm about to watch my webcam. It's probably not going to be visible. I think that was a bubble. No, you can't see it. I think I just made a bubble by talking. And it was a very small and perfectly floating... Has that ever happened to you before? Anyway, what was the design decision behind having Apollo Naruto run in his sprites? It just felt like the most natural thing. It just felt like that was Apollo. Like, that's what he would do when running. At least very fast. Done for convenience, stylistic preference, because it's adorable. Yeah, I guess all three, kind of, because it's also easier. It is easier to animate that in a way, because I like to have subtle motions conveyed well in my animations, and subtle motions are very difficult, even in pixel art, but even in small pixel art. But it at least kept that limb out of the way of the rest of the body, so that also helps. But yeah, it was mostly just because it felt like that's what Apollo would do. Trey says, I love how, and also, yeah, because of the sonic effect. I don't know if that, the sonic effect, I don't know if that was super conscious when I was making the decision, but it is nice how you can make a sonic connection there. Trey says, I love how Kitty meows the exact same way every time they come in the room. Meow. Meow. Misty Seat says the Naruto run reminds me of both Sonic and Lucario. I need to see more of Lucario's animations from Smash. I need to see what their swimming animations are too. I want to see just how similar everything is. Yeah! How was that? Okay, yeah, I was going to... Rendering is complete. That's what I need to get back to doing, is seeing if I can, add the video to the screen so you can look at the wallpaper while I'm chatting with you all. I can maybe replace the Apollo in the corner, but... Or I can put it in the middle, maybe? That looks like a good space for it. First, I have to... I can't believe you all are able to put up with me. Very admirable. Oh, I can just literally go into the program and say open. I could do that. I could. Such a boring prospect, though. Who would do that? Okay, I can go ahead and close this now. That should hopefully free up some CPU. Hype train! We are now going to listen to the full soundtrack, as it will be heard probably tomorrow in the YouTube version of the soundtrack release. Where are you? Can I not? Is that not showing? Interesting. I guess it doesn't count as... Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You cannot see. You cannot see me. You can't see anything. Is that actually... No, it's not it. What is that even? What even is that? What is even that? What is that capturing? I can't figure out what that's supposed to be capturing. One moment. Sorry, everybody. See if opening it up in a different program helps. Okay, how about this? How about this? What? Why is everything so weird when I try to Why are you showing me that? Dude, just... Why won't you let me do this? Why won't you let me do this? Why won't you let me do this? I guess I could just have it full screen and bite the bullet and not use this screen. and have it be a display capture. Whatever. It's just, which one is it? I don't think there's any way I can brutally destroy anything. Yeah, that's the one that I'm already using. It's not that one. Hi! Of course it's the third try. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be the third attempt? Thank you for putting up with me, everybody. I'm sorry. Yes, I do want to remove that absolutely useless window capture. Believe it or not. Hello! I guess that works. Okay. How about this? How about this? We can go full screen. That's not full screen. It is the opposite of full screen, literally. Alright. Let us listen to the soundtrack. Hopefully it will be at a good level where you can hear the music and me. Let's go. Testing, 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 testing. Yeah? Serious song starring Black Bar. Alright, thank you guys for putting up with that. I'll go ahead and grab a water, maybe a bite of something to eat, and then I'll be right back. And we'll work on more of Apollo's reference sheet, and I'll talk to all of you still. I'll answer any questions. This is one of my favorite things ever. So, I'll be right back. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I love you all. One moment. Yeah, I knew as soon as I started working on the concept for that Teddy, it was going to be really depressing. I'm sorry. Okay. Am I doing this? Yep, yeah, I'm doing this. Okay. How does one go about starting something like this?
Hey guys, it's Wacky Will. Welcome to my Let's Play.
No, not doing that. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, I'll catch up on chat here. Wow. Kitty. How close was it? How close was my reenactment? It felt pretty close. Yeah, and I've got the throat clearing going on now too. I'm turning into Will as we speak. Diminish on ice. Can't be me. Ice skating makes my back hurt like crazy, even when I was young and before I started doing acrobatics. But probably just because I'm bad at skating and I was doing it wrong. Diminish the Netflix adaptation. Diminish a pop opera. A popra. Opera. Diminish the licensed video game. Celine says, okay, seriously, I think it says something about either how much into the series we are or how evocative the sound is. This one is just sort of background droning noise, and even this is like, we hear the sound and we're instantly taken back to the video. It feels weird to hear it in isolation, like the sound effects and narration are just burned into our shared brain. Yeah, cool. Thank you for sharing that with me. Eagle Eye says, let's play Diminish, Season 1, Part 17. Apollo dabbed on me, you won't believe. I'm going to get banned from YouTube. Cecilia Aragorn says, wait, music stop? Yeah. Switching songs. It was. Cut the rope. I don't think I have experience with this. Okay, let's see what we shall see here. I guess I should do this entire thing as a separate layer because you'll want to be able to view everything unobstructed. What are your thoughts on Reddit destroying the stock market? I'm just kind of bewildered, honestly. There are many thoughts. I'm not as educated on stocks as I'd like to be, even though my father is extremely invested emotionally in the stock market. He's been doing fine amidst all this, luckily. It's a lot. I think a lot of it is very telling. And I'm very interested to see how things continue to develop. Doggo says, sorry if you already saw this, but in case you didn't, was the brutal gameplay just done for personal preferences? Or based on other stuff like Kaizo Mario or I Want to Be the Guy, or even Guy Collins' Kaizo Trap? It all happened kind of... it was just kind of stream of consciousness as I was doing the level design. But I have watched a lot of Kaizo Mario stuff. So I'm sure that maybe subconsciously a lot of that was happening. Nothing was based explicitly on anything else. It was all just kind of spur-of-the-moment level design. Hopefully that answers your question a little. That's good, Cecilia. Celine says, since we all love episode 9 so much, how did you do the sound effects for Afalo's voice? Both the talking and those scream sounds when he stands up in the owl part. Those were, I used mostly a violin instrument sample, and I would do certain pitches, and I would, like, pitch down and up, bend the pitch. Mostly that's how it was done, just using an instrument in FL Studio and bending the pitch. I was very pleasantly surprised that it turned out the way it did. I wasn't expecting it to sound as good as it did. Yeah, I was very pleased that it sounded the way it did. As I said many times, but for some reason repeated again. That's not it, man. I have a much better relationship with hands than I have in the past, but sometimes they still get you. Douglas says, I think I know what you mean by that actually. When I'm making custom levels for games with an editor, I find myself aiming for a style that most people who upload levels for said game kind of share. Though in your case, it was just Kaizo Mario and some in-the-moment stuff, whereas for me it was more of a copycat thing. Yeah, I think my creative process, I'm not actively thinking about all that stuff. Whenever my influences occur, they're happening very naturally as just a part of my workflow. My just mental flow. That kind of looks more hand-like. We're getting a bit more hands-on here. Still bad, though. Why you gotta be so bad? Even got a drawing pad. Oh, okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I'm gonna marry her anyway. It's a perfect song to sing alongside this. Marry that girl, marry her anyway. Marry that girl, don't care what you say. Why you gotta be so rude? Kitty, I have serenaded the cat. Why you gotta be so rude? That was his jam. He knows it's about him. Oh no. Time to use the violin in FL Studio. It was a free sample I downloaded, it was a free sound file I downloaded from online. Or part of it. King Oslo says, so glad to know that Wilson has been getting more acting roles. This might be a joke that that I am not of the intelligence to quite grasp. Doggo says, I've tried making things in FL Studio in PX Tone and other stuff. From what I remember, the only thing I was good with was WarioWare DIY. Not even kidding. There are some video game, minigame utilities that teach people how to, like people learn a craft through these things. Like Mario Paint, is that the thing where you could make music? I think a lot of people kind of honed their swords in that too. Yeah, Mario Paint. There it is, Celine. There you go. These things happen. Yes. Doggo says, I tried Mario Paint once, then just gave up because I couldn't really get the hang of it. Yeah, interface preference is very much an important thing. Enlarge hand. Misty Seat. Oh well, I started in Mario Paint and then worked my way over to WarioWare DIY just this past November. Funny to see others in here who have done the same. That's amazing. Curse Calendar says, fun fact, for some reason the first time I heard that song I heard Wake Up Piso, or something like that. Can't be me. But thank you for sharing. Thank you. Wake up, Will. It's time to pee. Give their hair in the back some volume there. Kitty! It looks like he was shut downstairs because he was causing some strife up there. And so... You have been confined. You're in... You're in jail. You're in Meower jail. Celine says, if you're talking like the coding and level design part, we got our start in ZZT. ZZT. I'm not sure what that is. Offhand. Like all these kids who learn to draw and flip note. Exactly, yeah, stuff like that. Strago says, I really need to see if my grandma still has that drawing tablet thing she had for her Mac somewhere. Do it.
Do it.
We're gonna go full on Palpatine tonight. But now the doctor brings her family in. It's probably nothing. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try something here. Can I do this in time? Probably. I don't know if the volume's gonna work though. Yeah, sorry, that's gonna be quieter for a moment.
So lucky to have the chance. If you'll believe it, I'm reminded how lucky I really am. Because my spine is severed, and yet I can feel every single nerve in my legs bleeding for death. Which means, led to the heavens I am, because you were want you to pity me.
There it is. I don't want you to pity
Really
me.
sucks ass, though. I don't want you to pity me.
I missed that because I was freaking out over the last line.
Whether that's a curse or a blessing is my choice. I choose to make this moment a gift. I'm forced to survive this, but I will grow from it on my own. Hopefully somehow you will too. I'm going to help you pick up the shards of glass. It's why I'm right here, where I am, because you were looking. This is all I ever wanted. Not the spikes, but a chance to turn flowers into mighty trees, led to the heavens by sunlight. I want to be the sun. I'm so lucky to have the chance. If you'll believe it, I'm reminded how lucky I really am. Because my spine is severed, and yet I can feel every single nerve in my legs bleeding for death. Which means it's time to stand up.
Misty Seat says, I find it cool how the Diminish twins represent two sides of their creator. Like Teddy is the artist side and Will is the personality. That is fascinating. Misty Seat says, I find comfort in thinking that they're together in a sense in the creator. I adore that no, it's not really a headcanon, it's more of just a feeling about a takeaway from the work. I guess it counts as a headcanon. I'm a good boy. I'm good. You guys ready? You know what time it is. This was the most time-consuming song to make by a lot. It's not even remotely close. This one was very difficult. If someone were to map this song for a rhythm game, that's an interesting proposition. I'm glad you think so, Celine. Thank you. The pan flute, yeah. That worked out really well. That was kind of a sudden decision. And it was like, oh, yeah. Oh, I have a chat to catch up on here. Musically, this is really perfect after the last scene, like going from that poignant reflection to this kind of upbeat, stirring theme. I'm glad that worked out. Let's go! Oh! I heard that in your voice, too. Oh, God. Song that might play when you fight Justin.
There is one dwarf yet who still draws breath!
Thank you, doggo. That would be amazing. Oh my god, I would dissolve at the sight of this being played on Osu. Pan flute is nice, yeah. It is a cool instrument. I don't get that reference, Celine, but I believe you. And it sounds excellent. I keep seeing this Apollo ringside mention. I don't know what this is referring to either. It's your move. Swim left immediately. Yep, yep. Nice, Misty Seat. That sounds perfect. Again, I will give 10,000 karma points to anyone who can identify what this piano melody is. It's a very famous melody. The piano melody, Celine? If you have a background in orchestral or concert music, then you may have come into contact with it. It's also very often used in film, probably in some video game music as well. It is used very often to symbolize or hearken death. Didn't mean to drive you batty. I don't know about Sayonara, but it might have used the melody in there. There's a name for it. Yeah, here it is. So its origin is Latin. Does that ring any bells? Dies irae, dies ira. Spooshy gets it first. Solverit steclum invali via. I don't know if that was correct, but I was hype. How did you find that with just Googling alone? Also, it looks like I'm losing frames here. Yes, these tracks will have names, Curse Calendar. Was that what you were thinking of, Celine? Yeah, Dies Irae is extremely widely used. And I had the good fortune to play a piece and sing a section using, I think, perhaps the original version of it in my orchestra that I was a part of for college. It was a beautiful experience. There's nothing like that tune. That's probably why it's so immortally used. Immortally used, that's what I said. Oh yeah, it does sound like it could be in Castlevania, doesn't it? Yeah, you guys will see the song name soon. I'm probably going to be making the video premiere before too long. Hopefully this video is well mastered. Hopefully all the songs are at a similar volume level. So guys supposedly found a Vocaloid song by searching up Vocaloid song with dancing cats. And I see, a month ago I tried to find a Vocaloid song that I happened upon. By the way, is somebody in chat who found Diminish through a Vocaloid song in the recommended? Because while I was looking through the analytics for Diminish 1, very soon after the series began, I found an Itimawake? Is that the name of the artist? I found the song that the person found my video through, and it is so good. And I tried so hard to search for that song, using every method of keywords that I could not find it. So that's an opposite experience to what you're talking about. But I did eventually find it. And it's amazing to me that just... First off... Oh, Itamiwake is the name of the song, okay. Oh my god, I love it so much. It's such a ridiculous happenstance to me that, for one thing, that person, it might be you, found Diminish through that song. And then I found that song just by looking through the analytics. And then I ended up adoring the song. I think I might have heard Kaneshibari too. I branched out and listened to a few other things, but Itamiwake is my favorite. It's so freaking good. Every time you reach the first drop, I just explode. It kills so hard. Iroha Ringo, okay. But was that you who found Diminish through Itamiwake? If so, thank you, because I love that song. Yeah, the BPM changes are great. I find it really interesting how that artist loves to use dissonance in all of their tunes. Like really clashing pitches. I wasn't sure if I dug it at first when I first listened to Itamiwake, and then the drop hit, and I was like, oh my god. Might have to listen to it right now. After this is done. His torso is facing a bit too much this way, if this is going to be a full-on side view. Good. Very good. We're gonna have to listen to Itamiwake. Itamiwake? This is such a banger. This is such a banger. Plus Yuki. I wasn't sure how I felt about this dissonance at first, but they really pull it off. That tiny little modulation, a half step up. It's so sneaky. I'm still not sure how I feel about this part, but once the bass comes in, I'm all in. Right here. I've never really listened to Vocaloid before this. I think the tempo's faster here, yeah. It has to be. Oh, that is music. So assuming you are the one, Doggo, who... Wait, did you talk about that? Yeah, assuming you are the one who found Diminish through that video, thank you for inadvertently leading me to a song I have listened to religiously ever since. I have the stream muted. I should probably finish up soon and do a couple other things tonight. Make sure that that is the version that I want to premiere of the video, the soundtrack video. I was gonna try and finalize some of the other tunes for the Bandcamp versions, but... Ah! What? Those no title videos that popped up in people's recommended some months ago. Yeah, I will. Here's what I'll do. How do you feel about relaxed / orchestral music? Well, growing up as a concert player, I am very partial to orchestral music. And overall, I'm a fan of most music, honestly. I'm a fan of great music. But yeah, relaxing music, for sure. And orchestral music, absolutely. It's a very vague answer, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure exactly. Oh, that's so much better. That's so much better. That's more like it. That's more of a side view. Yep. Way better. Once again, I find myself just never ever wanting to stop. But if I have more of this, if I leave this reference sheet for the next section, then I'll have more things to work on, another excuse to come back. Someone posted art in the Discord. Dropping my stylus immediately. Dies irae, dies illa, solvet secum in valvilla. It's probably really bad. But once again, good for Spooshy for recognizing that. Oh, I see Spooshy posting a smiley face. I wonder if Spooshy was the one who posted the art, in which case I am not long for this world. You are witnessing my last moments. Let's make them count. I'm scared. Never ever. I don't want to tell you what to do, but please, please don't ever stop drawing Apollo. Like, no pressure. But this is one of my favorite things in the world, is to see Spooshy art of Apollo. This is perfect. Ah! Uh... What did I do to deserve this much perfection? Is it alright with you if I make this canon at some point? I don't know when, I don't know how. But this has to happen. This has to happen. The earrings match the eyes, yes. I'm gonna cry. I also love how the angle of their arm is similar in the picture I have on the corner of the stream and the one in your drawing. It's a kind of a similar pose. So Apollo, what are you doing tonight? What did I do to deserve the perfect community? And once again, I feel like the spooshy art is a very fitting way to end. Let me flip back and show you some other oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Thank you all again for another dream night. These are literally moments that I've been dreaming of my entire life. Pipe dreams. I wish you all nothing but the very best that life has to offer. That is what I'm getting right now because of you, so hopefully you can get it too. Thank you all for popping in and hanging out. It's always such a pleasure and an honor. And yeah, thank you for watching Diminish. And Cecilia, right? Midori. I'm gonna try and find an invite link for that art house server for you, and send it your way. And I will see you all again soon, so I can work on more of this reference sheet. But of course, I almost am loath to do it because the way everybody has been drawing Apollo up to this point, just based on their pure interpretation and just eyeballing it and whatnot, has been so otherworldly of an experience. But of course, that's not an excuse. I absolutely will make it and release it, because it will do nothing but good. So I love you all, and I hope you all have a great one. And till next time, dream on, friends. Peace. Thank you. Thank you so much.